Welcome. If you like this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It helps spread the word and helps make more of these videos possible. If you like this video even more, you can make a recurring donation via Patreon or a one-time donation via Ko-fi. The links are all in the description below. Enjoy the video. Hello, this is Kyra again, and I have another video for you today. Today I will be doing my collab with Sadie Saves today, and I'll give a link to her channel down in the description below and a link to her video up there. And so what we decided to do was pretty straightforward. I would send her some paints from the Billy Showell sets that Billy Showell uses for her botanical paintings, and then she would send me like a page for me to color using those same colors from the Sennelier collection. So but she also sent me some other stuff, so I figured we would talk about the stuff that she sent me. All right, so she sent me some this is like the Schminke's version of the Daniel Smith Primatech. So it's lapis lazuli, it is red opalite, and this one, which I can't quite see, but I'll give the links to all of these down in the description. Really glad that she sent me these to try. In addition, she also sent me this set of pencils from the Gold Feber line. Now she sent me these before they were available here in the US. I think by now they're maybe out, but I will do a full review of these, and as you can see, I did play with them a little bit. So there's that, but I want to show you the really special stuff that she sent me that I was literally humbled and just shocked and absolutely just humbled and impressed by. All right, so she sent to me, hold, let's see if I can get everything out in one piece. She sent me, so let me show you this first. This is the sort of botanical line art that she sent me for me to do. This is on watercolor paper, and I'm not quite sure which watercolor paper this is, but this feels really nice. So I will tape this down and do this. I'm not quite sure how she got it on here. She doesn't look like she drew it directly, but this is definitely her artwork, and I was actually really impressed by this. And I don't know, she doesn't have a coloring book, but she has just the right she seems to have just the right feel for coloring books. So I don't know, maybe she'll do one, but this is the apple that she did, and then I will show myself painting this using the colors in the Billy Showell set. But let me show you what she made. Now she has her own commissions that she does, and that you can get from her page, and I'll link you to her commission page, because I absolutely was not expecting this at all, and I was so humbled by this. This is her rendition of a picture from our wedding. I finally got a wedding ring. This is like what she did from our wedding, and it was really awesome. And I don't know, I was just totally like, I was totally moved by it. I'm sorry. It was really it was really wonderful, and I haven't put it up yet because I wanted to be able to take it down and show you, but she just did a really great job. She's got a really great mastery of African American skin tones and dark skin tones. In fact, she has a Skillshare class on doing portraits, and I'll give you a link to her Skillshare class. I think one of the tricks to doing African American skin tones really well is to make sure that you get the midtones right, and that you have the good gradation on those midtones, and that's what I think some people miss. And she does wonderful midtones, and it just looks so good, and it basically looks like us on our wedding day. So so I have this here, and it took me forever to find this because I put this somewhere safe, and then I couldn't find it. But these are some dot cards that she sent me. Hold on, I did a number, you know, like when you put something somewhere safe and then you can't find it, and that's what I did here. All right, so these are some paints she sent me to try, and I am always up for trying new paints, so I will swatch these out as well. So as you can see, she sent me a lot of really amazing stuff. So what I'm going to do, the Billy Showell colors, I did all my Sennelier colors, but I'll do just the Billy Showell colors, and then we will take this in little sections as I work through this page. So let's get started. So what I have here is I have here the sheet that I made for these colors. By the way, if the video looks a little different, I can't quite tell if you guys will notice a difference, but in between filming the first part and filming now, I actually had my birthday and I got a new phone. So so I was filming on an iPhone 6s, I think, and now I have an iPhone 8 Plus. Since the price went down so much, I'm able to get an iPhone 8 Plus. So so yeah, so then what I'm gonna do is I'm going to swatch out the cards that she sent me. I think it's easier if we just start with the little dot cards that she sent, and then from there we can move on to the next one that we're going to do the swatching. So I'll pause and hopefully do the swatching in high speed, so you don't have to sit here and watch me dip the pen and all that. So so yeah, so let's do that. Alright, so throughout this process, I'm just holding the paper up because that's the easiest way for me to see it since I have low vision. And I'm just going to go through the colors and just talk to you a little bit about some of the colors. I'm not going to go too much into all the colors. This is lemon yellow. It's in all my palettes. It's a wonderful color. It's very useful. Cool red, cool yellow, sorry. The next color, I really was impressed by this color. This is not a color that had been in my palettes before this point, but after playing with this and after seeing the kinds of mixes that it can make and how versatile a color it is, Sennelier Yellow Deep is definitely a color that's going to be a keeper for me. This Sennelier, this red orange that I'm swatching right now makes the most wonderful salmon colors. Just like if you, this is perfect. This is one of those colors that's absolutely perfect for a floral painter. Sennelier Red is another color that is just, she did a great job of picking the absolute most perfect colors. And if you are a floral painter, you absolutely need this set, because this color here mixed with Helios purple makes the most beautiful pink. I just love that pink that you get out of that. This is alizarin crimson, and it's all those pigments, and it still mixes really well. It makes wonderful muted purples, oranges, and just like I was just really impressed with this, and now I see why Sennelier includes this color in so many of its sets, because it's just such a wonderful color. Anyway, Rose Madder Lake is, again, it's one of those floral colors, and I'm not sure that I would include it outside of the florals, but within the florals, the purples that this color makes, especially with French Ultramarine, is just a wonderful, like, it's the perfect purple. Like, when you think about purple, that's the exact color that I'm thinking about when I do that one. Dioxazine purple, you guys know that one really well. Now the next one is French Ultramarine, and I was actually surprised that she went with French Ultramarine instead of Ultramarine Deep, which is my absolute favorite ultramarine out of all the ones I have. It's such a vibrant color, so it's a little bit of a surprise that she went with this one. However, this one mixes wonderfully. It is a 2 pigment color, I think, but it still mixes really well, so it's a non-issue. I mean, for me, I probably will just stick to Ultramarine Deep, but you know, whatever. The one that she picked is, you know, perfect. Cobalt is not a color that I use very often because it's cobalt, but it did work wonderfully in these mixes, and I see now why cobalt became a thing despite its, you know, the issues around it, because it's just a great color, and it adds a lot of interesting sort of not necessarily muted but balanced blue. Like, it's not super cool, it's not super warm, it's a very balanced blue. Phthalo blue, you guys know this color really well. This the Quin Gold, which is the last color, is a color that I was honestly not really sure what to do with in this set, but her color mixing charts tell you exactly what to do with this Quin Gold. And for it makes just these great oranges, and when mixed with red orange, it makes like a very wonderful fall colors. So if you want to do fall leaves, then this is the perfect color. As soon as I finish the swatching, I just, you know, push out and I just show you all the colors that I swatched from all the colors that that Sadie sent me. Alright, so I have this taped up now and it is ready to go. But before I start working on it, I just want to show you what a talented artist Sadie is. First of all, I don't like the white balance on this iPhone. It's a bit too aggressive. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. I just want to show you how she did the apples, but also the care she took in getting the scientific name. I was really impressed by that. The blossoms are really nice. You can very clearly see these. You can see the way that she's cut it both ways. So it's going to be a challenge. I mean, it's just apples, but it's going to be a challenge, and it's going to be a really fun challenge. I absolutely love the way that she's done this. So I just wanted to take a moment and show you guys this before I actually start working on it. All right, still not on the tripod. Sorry about that. But this is the progress that I've made so far. I was supposed to come in and go a little bit earlier, but I forgot. I was so in the process and in the moment. But let me show you what I did for this and this, the inside of the apple and the outside. I pretty much started with the same base color. And then I went in, and you can even see, oops, those are the paints that I'm working on back there, but you can even see where I went in with the multiple layers. So you can see that I went in there with multiple layers, and I tried to follow her directions to get both smoother edges and a little bit harder edges. Let me show you some of what she suggests by way of direction. So she has some tips here on getting the smooth edges and the smooth blending. And I tried to replicate some of that, but I don't think mine were as smooth as hers. As well as I struggled. She says that she uses a size 2 to get these super, I don't know if you can see it. Hold on. She says she uses a size 2 to get these super fine lines. I have not been able to get those super fine lines. The next step is going to be more layering and working on the flower and getting rid of some of those hard edges. Oh, let me show you one last thing. Hold, see if I can show you. She has these charts here that tell you how to get various shades using various mixtures that she has. So I think this is yellow deep, and I don't know what FU stands for, but I know yellow deep that's yellow deep. I don't know what FU stands for. That's phthalo blue and yellow deep, and then she shows you how to get various shades, and she has a number of these throughout the book. All right, next step is to work on some of that, and then I will be back to do more, to show you more of the progress. All right, at this point, I am pretty much almost done. There's a lot of wet and wet for this, and then going in for multiple layers, but the leaves it was mostly a challenge of getting the right colors that I wanted, and I struggled, and I decided that, you know, I gotta get this video up, so I just left it as is. But I'm not exactly happy with the leaves, but the next step is going to be to add some shadows and possibly lift up some highlights if I can, and that should be about it. So hopefully we'll be done in not that long. All right, I am back. Okay, so this is the book that I used as the basis for me doing the painting based on the drawing by Sadie. The book is called Billy Showell's Botanical Painting in Watercolor, and I got this book from a fan. Thank you so much, Forrest. There'll be a link down in the description below to get this book. But let me show you, there's so much in this book. It's not, I mean, her basis is botanical art, and this book leans very heavily on that, but she has a lot of just general information. She uses a really interesting color palette. Let me show you the color palette that she uses, but she doesn't start talking about the color palette that she uses until around like page 140 or something, and I remember the page because I keep having to turn to it. Yep, it's page 140. This is where she talks about the colors that she uses, and she has a set that you can purchase from Sennelier, and there'll be a link to that set too. And she talks about how she lays out her colors, but mainly what she uses is basically several different 3-color primary sets. So I think there's like 3 primary sets. There's 3 or 4 of them in her set that she uses. There's no browns, there's no greens in there included. Let me set this aside because I'm going to show you that later. But this is her set that she uses, so you can see it's 3 yellows, an orange, 3 reds, a pink, a purple, and then 3 blues, and that's essentially what she uses, and she mixes everything that she needs from here. It's actually really interesting. This book is great because in showing you, let me show you how heavily weighted this is towards the pinks. I'm gonna show you her mixing charts in a second, but I do want to show you how heavily weighted she is towards like pinks and purples, because she does so much floral painting. And if you compare that to this is a core set. I'll be reviewing this in a future date, but you can see that. And then this is what I would use as my balanced palette of 12. If I was taking just 12 Sennelier colors, this is what I would take. So you can see that hers is weighted much more towards floral. Mine has more like easy greens. There's brown in here, and then there's earth tone, so this makes it a little bit different, and in many ways a little bit easier because you can easily get a gray right here. And the best way to get a gray, she does have a gray recipe in her book that's really good gray recipe. And in fact, let me show you that right now. I really enjoyed this book. If you are into botanical paintings at all, this is a great book to have. Let me go all the way to the back. I don't want to show you all of them, but let me just show you. So she has a number of them for different colors, and she talks about, this is a good one. She talks about all the different ways you can see here. It's kind of hard to see. Let me see if I can get it. There you go. There you go. She talks here about all the different ways to mix various kinds of grays and blacks, and she has a ton of these charts throughout. She has a lot of great tips in this book. She has a lot of just great information if you want to learn about botanical painting. But I found a lot of this stuff really helped me. There's a lot of stuff here about wet on wet. There's also a lot of stuff here on painting white and pink objects, which I found to be particularly challenging. And she has a lot of information on how to do those kinds of very light colored objects. She does get these really fine detail lines, and I see how she does it. I'm still not able to do the way that she does. I can see how she does it. I just can't really duplicate what she does. It's really intense. And I think this is one of the best tutorial books that I have. And I actually go to this one a lot, even though I'm not necessarily always doing florals. Having said that, let me show you the completed page, which you guys have seen throughout all these various stages. Let me see if I can tune this up. You guys are going to have to see some of my messy background. But you guys can see that the white balance on this is a new phone, so the white balance on here is really extreme, and I feel like it moves too fast. And it wanted to make everything a little bit too yellow. But anyway, you can see that I tried on some of her wet and wet, as I showed you guys earlier. I did the shadows. I am so used to using burnt umber and burnt sienna, but I did it, burnt umber and ultramarine to get a gray, but I did it her way of getting 3 primary colors together, and it still looked really good. I like my gray better. I also like cerulean blue and burnt umber. That one also makes a nice gray. But I want to show you these browns, because that's one thing that I was afraid of. I was like, oh, I don't know if the browns will turn out quite as nice, but you can see the browns here. That's another way to make a gray, is you can mix up a brown and then add ultramarine to it. That's another way. But it was a lot of fun. I wasn't able to, you can see that I did try to get the fine detail that she gets, and I just was not able to do it. Still, this was a great project. I love love the drawing that Sadie did. I'm not sure that I did it justice, but I really did enjoy the drawing that Sadie did, and I absolutely love doing this project. There was a lot of looking up pictures of apples and trying to find apples and trying to figure out how to match them. I still struggled a lot with the leaves, but overall I'm pretty happy with this, and this is just a great project. So if you are new to watercolor, or if you are an experienced watercolorist, either way, I think both her palette and her color set, hold on, let me get it. Both her color palette and her book, I think, is a great combo. I may have had an easier time than Sadie did. We were supposed to do the video at the same time, but I did mine a little bit later. A long story, but I think I may have had a slightly easier time than she did because I had the book, and I strongly recommend that if you get her palette, or if you have all the Sennelier colors and you want to try out doing it her way, then I strongly recommend that you get her book. I think it was like $19 on Amazon or something along those lines, but if you're going to be using her palette, definitely get her book. She has a lot of information on here, not just on mixing and the mixing charts, but also on how to make the best use of it, and how to sort of take this, mystery chart and turn it into something beautiful and stunning like this, which I don't have the skills to do, but I still enjoyed, and I still found that even though I'm a colorist, and even though the base drawing had already been done for me, I still learned a lot, and I had a lot of fun doing this, and I'd love to do another one with her. She's such a talented artist, and I said it before, I think she should totally do a coloring book because this is stunning. Anyway, having said that, this was a really fun project. I've really enjoyed it, and thank you so much, Sadie, for doing this with me. And I so enjoyed getting a chance to learn about a specific artist and how they use their colors. Definitely recommend doing either Billy Showell or another artist, and just going out of your comfort zone and trying something different and trying something that you haven't tried. Thank you guys so much for watching. And thank you to the patrons, and thank you to Sadie for doing this with me. And I will see you guys next time. Bye. He's helping me test out the zoom on this camera. Oh, he's a fatty. Oh, look at that. Let's try to zoom out. Oh, I got him eating. He does this a lot. Eat, I mean.